Buen día, Jorge.
Bon dia,
Oh, perdón,
Francisco. Oh,
Jordi. ¿Cómo
oh,
estás?
thank you.
Francés, yo soy el francés.
Francesc, Francesc,
Francés. Y
Francesc.
tú eres el Jordi.
And why are we talking with this heavy Catalan accent today?
I guess we're going to be talking something about Catalonia today in our podcast here in Spanish
Yeah,
Loop.
something related with Catalonia. So let's go with our intro and we'll be back in a few.
Yes, Jorge. Today we're going to be talking about something from Catalonia. Today we're going to be talking about one of the most impressive Catalonian traditions. That's called the Castellers, which are these human towers made of humans,
Yeah. If it
castells.
is a human tower, it's made of humans.
uh, Thank you so much. Yes, it's a human tower made with humans. Yeah, maybe a little bit redundant.
Well, in San Francisco, the name of the shape is called Castells with double
Yeah.
L at the end, double L S. But then Castellers is when the humans, as you will say, they are forming that structure. And okay, shall we start with history? A little bit about what's that?
Please,
Yeah.
do
Okay.
so.
Okay. Well, that's um, it comes from a pagan tradition, which I'll let you know in a minute. They originated actually in the 18th century, and it was in the province of Tarragona, which is south of Barcelona. Okay, barely in a town in the county of Tarragona called Valls, Valls, and uh, you know. Uh, the purpose is just to raise human towers. That is the purpose. Okay, they are classified in several factors, but what they represent for them in this tradition is the important human values such as unity, trust, solidarity, and also the spirit of self-improvement. That is the story behind. And everybody in that bunch of people that they're forming that structure contributes, and every single person has a specific role in that kind of castle. Okay? They are classified or based in two factors. The first is the number of people forming each level. Okay, it goes by levels, also called floors, or you can use the word tires if you want to. And
Okay.
then the second is the height, meaning the number of levels that they reach.
Okay, so it's the number of humans per circle and how many circles we have one on top of each other.
Correct.
Okay.
Obviously, the big level is the base or ground floor level, which is people just holding each other with the on the shoulders, and it could be a diameter of maybe 25 or 30 people making lines all together, making a circle, because then they start climbing above everyone, and then in the center of that circle is when they start making the levels, climbing those levels. Okay. Um, okay. Um, how much weight can it be, or people? And this is part of that representation of solidarity and unity. It varies a lot. I mean, because the way that a castellere, that is the name of each person, each human being that forms that forms the castellere, supports. And believe it or not, only just by a few centimeters of if they move, it could increase up to 150 the pressure on their shoulders. So if that happens in every level, imagine those at the bottom.
Yeah.
That is absolutely incredible, right? So, have you seen any of them anytime, Francisco?
Yes, I've
You
seen
have.
several times in
Hmm.
Barcelona.
Yeah.
And to me, what you just said, this sense of community, the whole
Hmm.
people coming together. When we see a castellar, we see the people on top of each other. But I love to see the bottom part where you say this is like 30, 50. 100, 200 people pushing, making pressure so the structure doesn't
Hmm.
fall.
That's
So the
true.
people at the bottom can hold so much weight. They
Hmm.
need all of that pressure from the whole society, bringing them up together, and then boom, they can make the
There
spire.
is a little factor I forgot to mention that that base or that ground floor bunch of people has a name, specific name,
And it is
piña.
piña,
Piña, in if we translate that literally in English, is pine nut. No, sorry, the pine, not
the
the nut,
pine.
pine. But piña also is a slang word for a bunch of people. La piña, okay?
Oh,
La piña. That's the name only of the base of the human structure. Just all those
okay.
people, pushing each other and trying to hold
Piñado.
all the weights
Oh.
and everything. Yeah, yeah, that's the
And then you
piña.
have the spire,
Then
the
you have the
people.
spire, that's right. And now, inside of the piña, there is another group, which is called colla. And this is a very Catalan word that practically means the same, but has a different purpose, which is the colla is those who are, let's say, like a brotherhood inside of another brotherhood, but they have like a higher status, and those are the ones who are allowed because either seniority or ability or lightweight as well, that makes a lot of influence in making the towers, right? Obviously, it's not. I mean, myself, I'm not a skinny guy. I'm a big guy, and I'm not gonna be never if I decide to make it to participate in one
But
of
you're
those.
not going to.
No, I'm not gonna go. They're not gonna allow me to be standing on the shoulders of anyone. So they have to be many factors altogether. So but they have to be very strong and they have to support all the weight. Okay, so well, they are positioned in a way. The larger people are starting from the first floor. Let's put it that way, and then as you go up, they are people smaller size. It could be people of a certain age if they are agile enough to hold weights on their shoulders.
Uh-huh.
But obviously, normally, the taller the structure is, the younger the people are. That's
Less weighted. They require less strength.
that's right. That's right. Yeah. So as I was saying, you have the colla, you have the piña, and then you have the manils, which are those other people that they are smaller in
What I call the spire.
their body structure, okay,
Okay.
and then well, all that forms the tower that is
And
composing the castellers.
so the end of it, the tip of it, it's so a lot of people gets shocked when they see this little kid that is like 8, 9 years old, super petite, because you need him or her to be very
Yeah.
lightweighted, climbing on the back of people, all the way like a 2, 3 floor high structure that is moving, and you have a kid that goes all the way to the top, settles, and with one hand he shows that I'm up here, and
Yeah.
then the structure has to unfold, has to go down.
Yeah, but there is several steps just
Oh,
to explain that. So the second floor calls el segons, which literally means the seconds.
the second.
El terços. These are Catalonian words, okay? El
Okay.
terços. Then you have el quarts, which is the fourth, el
The fourth.
cuarto in Spanish, and then you have el quints. But to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it, I cannot remember because there is a record in how many floors they did. But it's what you said, the ones um, that goes at the very end, um, yes, they have to climb all those floors. Let's put it that way. They have to be extremely agile, and as they are kids, they are trained for that. Obviously,
Yeah.
some years ago, there was a tragedy in some years, like about 20 or 25 years ago, there was a tragedy with one of these kids that he fell from the very top and then he died. So since then, they have to wear a helmet. Okay,
Helmets.
they have to wear a
Yes.
helmet, and I think some regulations changed about the number of people that has to be at the very bottom. just in case it could be like a human mattress just for the
Yes.
kid. So what is the purpose of this little kid that is going to go to the very top? Is what you just mentioned a few minutes ago. They have to climb up. When they're climbing up, they might grab you by the shirt, or might grab you by the hair, they might grab you by the arm, or the hairs of the armpits.
Whatever.
Whatever, as long as they get to the very top. And then once they are at the top, what they have to do is, like you say, just raise the arm just like that, like saying, the building is finished. And then everybody just burst into, big applause, big
Wow.
hands everywhere. And that is the summit of that celebration. And now is the
I'm
deconstructing
doing
the
it. The construction of the
deconstructing
building.
the tower, right? I've seen it only once, and it was in Barcelona. But the big one is every June 24th, and it happens in that city I mentioned a few minutes ago, where it's coming traditionally in Valls, in the province of Tarragona. Is the biggest festivity, and the Colles is when they
Mhm.
arrange when they're gonna make it. Normally, it's in the late afternoon, early evening. For us, that time, and in June 24th, which is the longest day of the year, right? Normally, it's like about in between 6 or 8. Don't forget, Francisco, these kind of celebrations, although being pagan, is a celebration very much rooted into the Catalonian tradition. You don't pay a ticket to see it, because it's in a public square. Okay.
Yeah.
And what happens, it could be literally, I'm not saying here like when you say 100,000 million times now, but it could
Yeah.
be up to a million people just watching that all around.
Yeah.
So what happens is that it is very extremely popular that day. um, it is very difficult to organize that for a specific time. So that's why they say, okay, the beginning of a tower is going to start approximately about 6 p.m. But sometimes I have heard that they have started a little bit later, like about 7 or 7:30. But it doesn't matter, because even at almost at 10 at night, there is still daylight.
Still
So
daylight.
it's visible anyway. So that's
It's
a little bit of this history about these Castellers.
one of the things I love about the Castellers is the outfit they wear because they
Oh yeah,
have. To me, this is
I know
as you're
why.
saying. It's from Valls, which is a shepherd's place, so it's a shepherd's outfit. So it's loose pant. They wear a sash, like good old fashioned shepherds, and then a big blouse, a big shirt. Okay,
Yeah,
but the sash is quite important because the sash, it's not just you're gonna have to hold a lot of weight, so you need your back very protected and very strong,
absolutely.
very
Yeah.
settled.
Hmm.
But it's also, imagine you have a little kid going up. So it's a place, all the casillas, or the people, they're barefooted. Right? So what they do, it's the perfect place to put your little toe. Then you go into the shoulders. Then you go
Yep.
into somebody else's waist. Then you go into that person. So it's like steps of a ladder. They
That
can go
kind.
up and up and up and up. So
Hmm.
that sash has to be extremely well tight and very well placed. It's not like, oh, it's a sash. Oh, hell
No,
no.
no, no. It has to be the quality.
It has to be perfectly placed, perfectly quality because it has to hold a lot of
Hmm.
weight. And also, there's going to be people grabbing it to go up, to go
Yeah.
up, to go up. So the way they dress is not like a random way of being dressed. No, there is a reason why they're dressed this way, right? So it's the way to protect and make these human pyramids, these human castles
Mm.
in it. Something that's okay. I love. We both love La Sagrada Familia. Okay, La Sagrada Familia. When the first time you see it, you're overwhelmed. We're lucky enough that we do a lot of tours in Catalonia, and we have seen the progress of it. And the towers of La Sagrada Familia, they were designed by a Catalan artist, Gaudí. We have
Hmm.
podcasts about him. And to me, I don't know if it's just a coincidence or not, but they resemble all of these castellers. They resemble all these human. Have you realized that that
No, I never
verticality?
thought about that. But now you mentioned,
Next
yeah,
time you go see it,
yeah,
look
makes
at it because
sense.
it is very vertical. It's like the perfect casteller. So,
Hmm.
in fact, last time I saw Castellers being built, it was at the door of the Sagrada Familia. It's when I realized, I was like, oh my God, it's
Really?
pretty
By the
much the
Sagrada
same.
Familia?
At the Sagrada Familia, it was beautiful.
Wow,
I don't
lucky
know what was the
you.
celebration. It was just random day. I was
Yeah.
like, the group, and it was like, okay, everybody, we're not going in yet. Let's go see what they're doing. And they made a Castellar. I was like, oh my God, that's
Lucky
cool.
you.
It
Whoa.
was not one of the big ones. It was, like 3, 4 floors high, but it was beautiful.
Right. Francisco, there is a fact I forgot to mention before. The name of not the name, birth name of the kid that tops the tower is the name of that character,
Okay, the title,
the title,
and
Casolet.
it is Casoleta.
Casolet. Casolet.
Casolet.
Casolet is in, or acochador. Acochador and casoleta is, and as far as I know, I mean, I'm not very fluent in Catalan, but it's like the casoleta is like whatever tops any construction. Okay, it's like the top of the
The
construction.
rooftop.
It's the casoleta. It's the rooftop in a house, but in this case, it's like a spire, okay,
Okay.
that goes up, and the last portion that you put on top is the cassoulet.
The
You
cassoulet.
know, when you have a candle and you want to, instead of blowing it
Put
off,
it.
just put that little cassoulet on top. That
Okay.
is exactly the
Okay. Is
name
that the tuck? It's
of the children, yeah, of the
okay.
child. I better say that's the top
Mm.
the structure, yeah.
Yeah.
So, well,
Okay.
I
Can
envy
I?
you now by seeing one of those by the Sagrada Familia. I would love to see
Yes.
that. Yeah.
It was just a pure coincidence. I have a question to ask you, Jorge.
Oh.
Where on your Barcelona staycation Catalonia,
hmm
the Essence of Catalonia tour that you have on your website, do you get to go to Valls?
No, actually, we don't. We
Because
don't.
it's not
No.
one of the most beautiful places in Catalonia.
But even if we were, the big celebration there is on June the 24th, and I don't normally do my tours on that date, that time of the year. Mine are either early spring or middle of fall. That's when they are in
Oh, it's better
Catalonia.
temperature.
Yeah, and this year
Yes.
actually is in November, I think. Yeah, it is in November,
Oh,
and
beautiful time.
mild temperature and everything. But hey, don't you think that I'm talking now to our audience? Don't you think that by saying what we said about the big festivity June the 24th in Valls is the only place? No. In any celebrations all over Catalonia, doesn't matter the city, doesn't matter the town, if there is a festivity, whether it is religious festivity or it is just whatever festivity or holiday, there is a tradition, and one of the traditions might include one of those castelleres, right?
Yeah, I
Obviously,
mean,
not as big one as big as the one in Tarragona in Valls, but yeah, there you have a lot of chances to have the opportunity to see it. Yeah.
yes. And
Yeah.
I've gone through your tour of Catalonia, and I think it's such a great way to discover the culture, the essence, and
Mhm.
the truth of Catalonia. Because a lot of people thinks that Catalonia is only the city of Barcelona
And Gaudí. And
and
no,
Gaudí, but
it's
it is
not.
not. I mean, don't get me wrong. You have to go to Barcelona, and I think that's a great way that what the way you have designed the tour. You stay in Barcelona,
hmm
and then you do side tours. You do
That's
day
right.
tours
We
up and
do
down.
side trips. One day is the city, and then one day is out of the city. And
So
yes, we
that
visit
way you
several
get to
places.
see so much of Catalonia because Catalonia is so rich in culture and music and food and tradition. So Catalonia has so much more than just Gaudi. Even to the people who has been to Barcelona and has seen the Gaudi houses and the Sagrada Familia, your tour, I think it's perfect because you get to see so much more. You get to feel and learn about one culture, not just see Gaudi, Gaudi, go. No, you immerse yourself
Yeah.
in the culture. So
Obviously, you see the
it's
highlights. Obviously,
yes,
you have to
yeah,
see
I
them.
think you,
But my intention is to show you parts of Catalonia that is not so much into the trail of the tourist part. Okay.
yeah. So
So yeah,
and you can
that's my intention.
all the information it's in your website travelingwithjorge.com
That's right.
that I really recommend everybody to follow and see. Also, everybody should follow Jorge on Facebook or Instagram because you have you're super prolific in there. So go take a look at that. And what else, my friend? Well, thank you for bringing all the castles and castellers and all of these
Thank you for promoting my tour, Francisco.
Well, hey, that's what we're here for, right? To learn about Spain, and the best way to learn about Spain is visiting Spain.
Yeah.
So, Jorge,
So,
thank you
uh,
so much.
thank you. And guys out there, I'm pretty sure that many of you have been to Barcelona, and I'm pretty sure that some of you probably have coincided with one of those Castellers human structures, okay, human castles. We will be delighted if you share with us photos of
Or a video, if you even have a video, that would be great.
oh, it's a clip that will be fantastic. And the intention is if this message works out and you send us photos of your adventures, not only because of the Castellers in Catalonia, but any other trips that you've made to Spain and you want to share some photos. The intention is in a future, now that we are in YouTube, maybe do just one chapter regarding, whatever the
Sharing all
name,
your
the date that you made a photo, and be there in a kind of a carousel and with a little bit of music in the background. Maybe, it depends on
that's
you
fun.
and the number of photos that you send us.
We would love to see your pictures of Spain. With that
right.
said, well, Jorge, as you said in Facebook and YouTube and all that, if you are listening to us or watching us on YouTube,
Subscribe,
be
please.
amazing.
Subscribe, please.
and
Subscribe,
go
please.
subscribe to our channel, please. Give us a like and share all
Yeah.
of our things because it helps a lot.
That helps a lot, true. Francisco,
Jorge,
thank you
what a
so
great
much.
topic
Thank
this week.
you.
Thank you, and I shall see you next week. To
Yep.
our listeners, we love you, and we're gonna see you next week. Adios, amigos.
Bye. And as usual, we want to thank all our listeners for being there every week, letting us sharing our talks. Follow us in Spanish Loops in Facebook, Spotify, Apple Podcast, or your favorite platform.
And in Instagram, you can find us as the Spanish Loops Podcast, no spaces altogether. If you want to find us the quickest way, just Google Spanish Loops Podcast and you will find us. Hasta la vista, amigos.
See you next week.